So I have her on 9-6. Is that right? I'm going to start there. So chapter 9, Shloka 6. Yathakasa stitu nityam vayo sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani mat stati upadharya. As the mighty wind blowing everywhere always rests in ethereal space, know that in the same manner all beings rest in me. Eric's blowing his nose. Let me shut the door. For the ordinary person, it is almost inconceivable how the huge material creation is resting in him. But the Lord is giving an example which may help us to understand. Space is the biggest manifestation we can conceive. The cosmic manifestation rests in space. Space permits the movement of even the atoms, and on up to the greatest planets, the sun and the moon. Although the sky or wind or air is great, still it is situated within space. Space is not beyond the sky. Similarly, all the wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God, and all of them are subordinate to that supreme will. As we generally say, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, everything is moving under his will. By his will, everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated. Still, he is aloof from everything, and space is always aloof from the activities of the atmosphere. In the Upanishads, it is stated, "It is out of the fear of the Supreme Lord that the wind is blowing." It is in the Garga Upanishad, also it is stated, "By the supreme order, under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the moon, the sun, and the great planets are moving." In the Brahma Samhita, this is also stated. There is also a description of the movement of the sun, and it is said that the sun is considered to be the eyes of the Supreme Lord and that it has immense potency to diffuse heat and light. Still, it is moving in its prescribed orbit by the order and the supreme will of Govinda. So from the Vedic literature, we can find evidence that this material manifestation, which appears to us to be very wonderful and great, is under the complete control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This will be further explained in the later verses of this chapter. Shloka 7. Sarva Bhutani Kunteya Praktyam Yanti Mamakam Kalpa Kase Punastani Kalpadu Vishrami Aham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, my potency I again create. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material cosmic manifestation is completely dependent on the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. At the end of the millennium means at the death of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years, and his one day is calculated at 4,300,000,000,000 of our earthly years. His night is of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days and nights, and his year of 12 months. At 100 such years, when Brahma dies, the devastation or annihilation takes place. This means that energy manifested by the Supreme Lord is again wound up in himself. Then again, when there is need to manifest the cosmic world, it is done by his will. Although I am one, I shall become many. This is a Vedic aphorism. He expands himself in this material energy, and the whole cosmic manifestation again takes place. I'll read this one and then we'll pause. Text 8. Praktyam savam avasvaya vishrami puna puna bhuta granam inam Kristam Avasam Praktir Vasat. The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again, and by my will, it is annihilated at the end. This matter is the manifestation of the inferior energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This has already been explained several times. At the creation, the material energy is let loose as Mahat Tattva, into which the Lord, as his first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, enters. He lies within the causal ocean and breathes out innumerable universes, and into each universe, the Lord again enters as Garbhodaka Savasaya Vishnu. Each universe is in that way created. He still further manifests himself as Kasarodakasaye Vishnu, and that Vishnu enters into everything, even into the minute atom. This fact is explained here. He enters into everything. Now, as far as the living entities are concerned, they are impregnated into this material nature, and as a result of their past deeds, they take different positions. Thus, the activities of this material world begin. The activities of different species of living beings are begun from the very moment of the creation. It is not that all is evolved. The different species of life are created immediately along with the universe. Men, animals, beasts, birds, everything is simultaneously created because whatever desires the living entities had at the last annihilation are again manifested. It is clearly stated here that the living entities have nothing to do with this process. The state of being in their past life, in the past creation, is simply manifested again, and all this is done by simply his will. This is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And after creating different species of life, he has no connection with them. The creation takes place to accommodate the inclinations of the various living entities, and so the Lord does not become involved with it. All right, I'll stop there so we can breathe and move on with our day. Thoughts, questions? Sue, I think you're on mute. Or you are on mute. I don't think you are on mute.
Yeah. So is this, this is saying that Krishna is not directly involved in the creation of the universe. It is Mahavishnu, and he is the one who takes charge of creating all of this. And then but then that last paragraph, it is not that all is evolved. The different species of life are created immediately along with the universe. So during each creation, the species pop up where they were before at the end of the last creation. Is that what this is saying?
Yeah, I think that's what it's saying. But also that the first part of what you're saying is, isn't Mahu Vishnu just an incarnation of Krishna?
Yeah, yeah, but it's sort of like the way I understand it is like if Krishna is everything and all things, et cetera, but he can break off a little piece of himself and say, I don't want to bother with this stuff, you do it. And somebody else takes charge and does it. So even though it's a part of Krishna, Krishna has bigger fish to fry and isn't necessarily involved in it. I mean, that's how
I feel like when he does what you just said, that's like what a demigod becomes. Because remember, they were talking about like well, this is how I imagine it. Like when he breaks off a piece of himself, it becomes the demigod. And then the person that's like looking up to the demigod and focusing on that person, but not Krishna, is doing it wrong according to what they were telling us, because really that person is also part of Krishna.
Yep.
But I feel like an incarnation of Krishna, and this is just like how my brain is capturing it, is that that incarnation is also Krishna. It's just like when Amanda was saying, like, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, it's just like a different version of Krishna. But I don't know. This is how I'm taking it. I don't know if that's the right way.
So when I was a working mother, I was a mother, I was an employee, I was a commuter on the LIRR, and I would hire a babysitter at times to take care of the kids. So they were my demigods, and so that I could go to
Yeah.
work and focus on something else.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great
If only I'd
metaphor.
known I was a goddess at the time.
Speaking of the Long Island Railroad, yesterday I had the dermatologist appointment, and I was completely traumatized because I called them from the parking lot, like, can I come up? And they were like, yeah. I was 3 minutes early for my appointment, so come on up. My appointment was at 12:10. They didn't see me until 12:50. Why would you have me come into the waiting room on this gorgeous day? I was fuming. I was doing all the yoga because I also lose my voice in these instances because I'm afraid to say anything because I'm going to come out like a dragon. I'm so angry and I can't get the anger under control. But anyway, the trauma from the railroad was that not only was I sitting in a waiting room with my mask on for this whole time, but someone was on their cell phone talking rudely. And
Oh,
the whole waiting room reeked of food because it's lunch hour. Like, I don't want to smell other people's food when I'm at a doctor's office. And I'm like, I feel like I'm back on the railroad.
exactly, exactly. You brought to mind, we were on the railroad coming home one night, or maybe it was going in. Whatever it was, the car was supposed to be a quiet car. And there was this woman bitching and moaning about her boyfriend on her cell phone. And so everybody's hearing it. And everybody's looking at each other. Should we say something, et cetera, et cetera? Just shut up, honey. And finally, some woman yelled from the back, break up with him already.
Oh my God.
It was- and everybody laughed, and she was suitably embarrassed and,
I'm
and ended the
sure.
conversation.
I go back and forth between those moments of practicing compassion, but also like people just are not self-aware. They seriously think that by whispering into their hand, we can't hear them because sound doesn't travel through their hand for some reason. I don't know why. Or they talk to the window. I'm like, the sound is still bouncing off of the window. We can still hear you. But
Yeah, yeah.
I practice when I see people eating now or talking, I'm like, maybe this is their only time to have this break. Maybe they're working 3 jobs, or, I give them like the benefit of the doubt, or maybe this is their only break to eat and this is their quiet time. And I'm like, calm down. Like, it's going back to like the idea of like COVID in Russia. Like, my life isn't that disturbed because someone else is having a conversation or eating. Like, chill out.
Right.
But I was like, I definitely can't go back on the railroad. I was like, and then once I left, I'm like, now I'm fine. It was fine. It was just this is how it is. When you go to the doctors, you have to wait. Anyway, all right.
I
So
agree. They should have let you wait in your car. Nice day yesterday. Why not?
yeah, like I don't, or just I don't mind waiting. I'm not saying like I am VIP. I need to be seen right away, but just be like, look, the doctor's having an emergency or whatever. Like whatever I don't need to know the details, but just have some sort of communication with me. I've been sitting here for 40 minutes.
Mhm.
And of course, then I go up and I'm like, I've been sitting here for whatever 35 minutes. Oh, you're next. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm always next. Like they just yesing me. I still had to wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like ready to leave though. But whatever. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. We'll take some alternate nostril breathing. So Sue, if you have to drop at any time, you just drop whenever.
Okay, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning if I have to drop.
Yep. All right. In through the nose, out through the nose. And bring your right hand over to the face. Close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. A few more rounds on your own breath, adding your locks and retention if it's in your practice. When you're done, you'll exhale out the left side, taking your time to get there. I'm going to set the timer and you'll join us when you're ready. If you need to set your own timer, go for it. Bringing your hands to your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.